Hello, everyone. Today we're talking about seducing dream clients using copy with our special guest, Juliana Garcia. If you don't know her, Juliana Garcia is a Latina online entrepreneur who has created a $2.5 million business helping skilled coaches clarify their marketing message to attract premium clients. She pioneers a cutting-edge client-centric approach that breaks the old school marketing roles and focuses on selling through intimacy, integrity, strong mindset tools, and zero BS. Her flagship offer, the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, is consistently sold out without any paid advertising or sales calls, just a clear message and massive clients' results that sell to the beat of $700,000 per launch. Juliana's early marketing career involved working on the launch of the movie Think and Grow Rich, The Legacy. Her company is focused on helping coaches set new standards for what's possible in the coaching industry and create a rich, fulfilling, and sustainable business without the burnout. Welcome to the podcast, Juliana. I'm so excited to have you here.
I am so honored. So happy to be here.
The reason why I asked Juliana here today for seducing dream clients using copy is really because she's such a beautiful example of it in her business. And that's talking about relationship-based marketing and really leaning on seduction and intimacy, which is so feminine. And we just don't see that many examples of this publicly in the country, in the world. So your insane conversion rates, they're really amazing for your audience size. It's not like you're trying to get 1 million followers and that's how you have $1 million business. Like it's not even close to that.
No.
And yeah, exactly. And I know it wasn't always like that for you. So I'd love to just start off with you telling us how your business was before you actually embraced your own style of marketing.
Oh my God, I love that question. Yeah. So before I was doing what I'm doing right now, I was so burned out by doing all the complex funnels. I, learned so much about digital marketing and doing launches. And I was, managing launches behind the scenes for some of the biggest personal development brands. And what happened was that I learned a lot, and I thought that was the only way to market. I thought that was the only way to sell a product. It was to have lots of ads, a big budget, maybe like 10, 15 team members behind a launch, and sell something that's like 1,000, 2,000, maybe 3,000 at most, but really are under the $3,000 mark. And that's just all I knew. I didn't know there was anything else. And that burned me out because I was doing it for other people. I learned by working at a startup. That's all we would do. And so when I decided to quit working behind the scenes and kind of become the face of my brand and become a coach, I went and applied the same approach, like webinars and this and just complexity and email sequences for upsells, for downsells, like everything. And it was so exhausting. I mean, I didn't have the budget to hire all these people, like these, clients that I used to have had. And I just felt like, wait, I can't do this. And I remember thinking to myself, this is just not, there's got to be a different way because I see other people doing it. I see other coaches being coaches, not having to do all of this. And so what is happening here? And what I recognized is that ultimately, out of everything that I had learned before and out of everything that I was seeing, this is back in like 2016, everything that I was seeing that was working it all came down to two things: the words that you say and the frequency that you vibrate at. Those are the two things that you can pick. This is why you feel magnetized to somebody. This is why you choose to bring people like to come to somebody, because their words compel you. And then there's something about their energy that just feels safe. It feels magnetic. It feels delicious. It's like, I want to be around this person. You can quite explain that. So that's when I had this shift of, I don't have to do all the complex work. Let me just focus on what's most simple, what's most effective, what's at the core of everything that works in marketing is just the words and your frequency. And that's basically when I had that realization of I just get to focus on being so loving, because I also learned a lot about masculine marketing and how it was all about, it was all based on fear, and it was based on urgency, and like, you have to do it now. If you don't do it, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, you're going to miss your chance. This is the last chance. It was, oh, and I just never felt good. But I thought, well, maybe that's just how people sell. Like, you know what I mean? That the rules have been created. Let me just, I guess, try to follow them and learn them. And I was like, well, let me try a different approach. And that's when I started going more into the attractive, seductive, delicious, loving, gentle marketing.
What actually inspired you to go in that direction? Was it pure like divine download, or was it like, oh, I see someone over there doing this, let me try that too?
It was not neither of those. It was, I struggled so much to honor that part of me that knew that this was not quite the way. Because when you have your entire world and your entire system, the entire internet teaching you things, like if you buy any copywriting course, it will tell you certain things. And like, there's copywriting principles. Who wrote those principles? Men who wanted to make money. Like, oh, okay. And you just don't notice these things. And it's like, you start kind of realizing, wait, this is not the thing. So I had to fight so hard because myself internally, because I was like, what if it doesn't work? 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 Like, this sounds all nice and good and it feels good. Like all these, I had this idea that it was going to work, but what if it didn't work? And it wasn't really divinely guided. It was a struggle internally. And so I paused my business. I was burned out. I did a launch, you guys. I spent $8,000 on ads and I hired a copywriter for $2,000. I spent so much money and I made $2,000. Like, I lost money, quote unquote. And so, I mean, no quote unquote, I factually lost money. Did not make a return on my investment, right? And it was so fascinating because at that point I was like, I can't anymore. And so at that point, I paused for like a good, maybe almost year. Didn't pause. I was like racking up my brain thinking, oh my God, how can I do this differently? And then it got to a point where I had this realization of the simplicity. And I had the idea in the shower of exposing 30 truths about myself for 30 days. And that's how the Expose Your Truth Challenge was born. Right now, for those of you who don't know, the Expose Your Truth Challenge is a 30-day guide that I ended up creating that everyone can access right now, and it's gone viral. But really, it wasn't born out of me saying I want to do a freebie to grow my list or anything. It was born out of me feeling like I was so in so much pain, feeling like I didn't know how to show up online. I didn't know how to attract clients. I didn't know how to speak my truth. I felt so scared of what people were going to say, what people were going to think. It was just all the piles of doubt. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I rather just do this, because at that point I had run out of fuel in every other direction. I had run out of like capacity to do anything other than just like, this is my last resource. Like, it was not cute. It was like kind of it was divinely guided for sure. Cause I know God was speaking to me in the shower, but it wasn't like a cute, delicious, like I was meditating and all of a sudden it just came to me. It was like, oh God, okay, God, I hear you. I'm going to just go do this. And it just started from there.
Oh, so good. And you guys definitely, we'll put the link in the show notes to definitely go download the Expose Your Truth guide. I started it. I haven't finished 30 straight days of it, but okay. It's amazing. There's so many great resources in it and tips from Juliana. So definitely go do that. And thank you for sharing that story. I know that a lot of people resonate with that they're following these frameworks that people learn from other people, which are ultimately men who started in the marketing industry. And it doesn't work for all of us, or probably most of us.
Yeah, not for women who are intelligent, who are sophisticated, who are emotionally intelligent, who like are connected to their hearts, who want deeper transformation, who want an authentic guide in their corner, not somebody who's trying to sell them a program who can offer some value. They actually want somebody who is connected to divinity. And that connection is what people are craving. It's like, help me, as we raise our consciousness and the world is just shifting, the people who are going in this like upward spiral, upward direction, when we're awakening to all the structures that are in place, the people who are awakening to that, they're looking for leaders who are connected to their next ascension, who can guide them. And that ultimately is what people are desiring. The women and women and men, right? Not just women, but women and men who are craving that deeper level of leadership that is not just, let me sell you something. Nothing wrong with selling. I'm available. Like, I love selling. I love money. Like, yes, please, more, please. Like, yes. And that copy doesn't work for people who are craving a deeper sense of direction and a leader that can really take them internally where they want to go and externally also where they want to go.
Yeah, and consciousness is rising on the planet. Like more and more people are waking up. So old marketing tactics aren't going to work on the masses.
Yeah. I think
But
it might
they,
work on the masses, but it won't work for the people who are like awakening to it. Like there's always going to be, look, there's mostly like fear really runs the show for the most part in like in all the media that we consume. And so there's just these pockets of expansion that like people are like finding. And I think it's going to be a little while until the masses really adopt a fully centered loving approach, because it's always going to be easier to sell with fear. And that's really the I don't want to say the battle we're up against, because there's no real battle, but really it's just the challenge that we want to sell with love, we want to sell with integrity, and it's easier to sell with fear, it's easier to sell with urgency. If you want to attract people who are in fear, who are in urgency, I'm just not available for that. I'd rather have less clients than have clients who are in fear and urgency. And that's just my choice.
okay, so I totally wanted to cover the three elements of just the little phrase of seducing dream clients with copy. So seduction, dream clients, and copy. And you're already like tapping into the dream clients element of it. Like,
Yeah.
so let's just go a little bit deeper with that,
Sure.
because it's not about just seducing anyone, it's seducing dream clients.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah. And I just had to get really clear. I mean, I teach this inside Magnetize and Monetize. And first thing that we do is really elevate the quality of clients that you're available for. And that's not something that people think about. They just think, I start a business, let me make some money, let me attract anyone who wants to buy, anyone that I can help. And it is not malicious in any way. It's just that we don't ever think I get to choose who I want to work with. And actually, I get to have the person that I choose, because we're not used to getting what we want. We're not used to asking for what we desire and actually knowing that, of course, I'm going to have that. Of course, I get to create that. We're used to saying, don't want too much, don't ask for too much, because just settle for what you can have. And this is a program that's also from growing up. And it's especially for women, don't ask for too much. Just be happy with what you got, right? So if you get a client, just be happy with that. If you just get a few, just be happy with that. And why? If you're not actually happy with having a client that is in fear and urgency, that's not the best environment for them to evolve, for them to take on your coaching. Can you desire a client who is available for your coaching, who's calm, relaxed, and who wants to just take on the coaching that you give? Yes, you get to have that. So we just don't think about noticing, oh, who are the clients that I really love working with? Who are the clients that I haven't really enjoyed working with? Oh, let me focus my message, my words, and the frequency that I'm in on the clients that have been a delight. Because when I'm in delight, the universe gets delighted. The universe gives me more of what I desire when I'm in delight. So it's better for everyone involved that I'm always in delight, because that just creates more delight for everyone involved, right? It's like, that feels like a luxury for most people. It feels like, like, I don't know. It's like, can you really have that? And my invitation to all of you who are listening is, yes, you can. You're not being entitled. You're not asking for too much. You're not being snobby. You're not being dismissive. You're not letting people behind. You're not saving the world. No, you are the most important person to take care of first is you. You cannot go and save the world and save all the clients if you're feeling depleted, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling all the things, and when you are around people who are feeling anxious, depleted, urgent, scarcity, you are going to pick that up and you're going to make it about you. And it's got nothing to do with you. And so I call in, I become the frequency of I take care of me. I'm always in the light. I choose to work with dream clients who want that, who are available for that, who are not going to need me to save them because there's nothing that they need to be saved from. They're powerful humans. And so this is an important distinction that I want all of you to notice and ask yourself, what are your thoughts about your clients? How do you think about them? When you think about selling your program, what do you think your client is going to think about it? Do you think he's going to think I can't pay for it? It's too expensive. Oh my God. Or do you think, oh, I'm so glad she created this offer. This is the perfect fit. I am so ready to pay for this because it's exactly what I need. That's how I think about my clients. I think that my clients, and this is why my conversion rates, sometimes people are like, wait, not sometimes, every person, like my financial team, like my clients, like everyone is just like, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? How does this even, what? I'm like, yeah, not because I'm applying the principles that 99% of the world is teaching, is because I'm applying the principles of I get to shift the way I think about my clients and think about them in the most empowered way. And I get to be in the light. I just get to be in the light at all times. And so when I think that way about my clients, I attract clients who think that. That's why I attracted you. That's why you're like, yep, that's me. Because that's who you are. You're like, yeah, I'm available for the light. I want more consciousness. I want to elevate. I want it to feel easier. I want it to feel delicious. I'm available. I'm available. I'm available. And then our unseen teams, our guides, literally were just like, yep, come home. And they just literally brought you home. So before we dive into like the copywriting aspect, I just really want to get everyone really present to the way you're thinking about your clients and how that really gets to shift for you to be able to call in people who are available for what you are available for.
I think there's another element in this too, and I'm sure you've realized this, but I consider copywriting a transformational experience in and of itself, like an alchemical process. So you can actually be creating dream clients through the copy that you're writing and transform people to become dream clients. And like, it's not just a selfish thing. It's like you're actually calling out elements of themselves that might not have been front and center, or they might like awakening and activating parts of themselves. So it's like copywriting is this like actually world changing vehicle that we all can be doing. And I see you do it so well. And I'm sure you're aware of that, right?
Yeah, 100%. I first came up with this way of thinking. I mean, like what you're saying, I first noticed it because I remember thinking, well, if I don't want to attract clients who are in fear and scarcity and who are actually really just ready to be a yes to their transformation, then I get to speak to them. I get to speak to the people who are like, yes, I'm ready to a transformation. Yes, I'm ready to a transformation. Yes, like right there. And and then I started noticing that as the more that I spoke to them, I also realized, wait, well, there are people who maybe are just a step behind them, right? Or maybe a couple of steps behind them. It's not like they're not going to be amazing clients. They're just a little bit more in their way. That's okay. That's okay. We all have different levels of evolution, and like it's okay to have fears. So how can I empower them to believe in themselves? And that's what my copy does. My copy is so good. People love it and convert so well. People love it so much because when they read it, they feel different. After they read one post, they're like, oh, I have a different awareness about myself. I now see myself in a different light. And that's so important for conversions when you make it practical. When somebody buys your program and you've done it through the lens of urgency and fear, what's going to happen is, yes, you made the sale, but the way this client is going to show up in the container, it's going to be maybe asking for a refund because they regret their decision. So buyer's remorse, right? Versus when you use believe in themselves to sell, when you help them believe in themselves, they're going to feel like this was the best decision I ever made. I'm committed. I'm in. Let's go. Like I will pay you over and over and over again because I actually made this decision. You didn't force me to make the decision. I want this because I see myself differently and I know I can. And that's like, people don't teach you this in copywriting courses. They don't. They tell you you gotta hit the pain point. You had to gotta hit the pain point. And I talk about this so much in my program and in my challenges. And like it's part of so much of what I want to bring awareness into the world, that we don't have to take people to a place of fear for them to make a powerful decision from themselves. If we want a powerful decision, we get to take them to a powerful place. And that powerful place is showing them, look at how amazing you are. Look at the desires that you have for your life. Like, do you see how possible that is? Like, look at everything that you have created so far. Why wouldn't you take the next step when there's so much more available? Like, you're so capable. You're so capable of creating this. Like, really, let's build that vision. And I do that in my copy. And that's what creates a different type of business. Like, I don't need salespeople because my clients are already come sold. Really. They're like, yep, I got this. I love it. I'm available. This is what I want. And I want them to make that type of decision.
Everyone listening wants that, Juliana.
Yeah.
So can we jump into seduction and copywriting then?
Of course.
So we got clear on the dream clients, and I think we got a little clear on the seduction, but how do we actually practically do that with copywriting?
hmm So we were just talking about dream clients, right? And so here's when I think about my dream clients, you guys, I just close my eyes and I just get in my body and I just start feeling in my heart these amazing humans. Like, really, think about your best client that you've ever worked with before and just imagine that they're multiplied. Like, feel the energy of that in your heart and think about how amazing they are. Think about how much potential there is in their lives, whether you sell life coaching, health coaching, business coaching, anything. And the more that I get present to their greatness, the more that I get present to their hesitations, the more that I just feel this sense of love and appreciation. So I sit in this love and appreciation, and I just let all of that run through my body. And I just feel this kind of, I just see them in the like in front of me in my mind. I just see all of them lined up, all of them lined up. And as I imagine that, I just feel this natural, like I want you to feel it in your body. Imagine just having like 50 of your dream clients, like right there. Like, what would you love to say to them? I mean, even if you just focus on your most amazing client that you ever had, and imagine that there's another one of those out there, even if it's not 50, just imagine your next client. What would you say to them, seeing them so big, seeing their greatness? And for me, the way that my copy flows and why it's seductive is because I speak to that greatness that they are. And I really drop into, hey, I know that you are an amazing coach, right? Like, look at all the love letters you get from your clients and the messages. But here's the thing, that right now you're undercharging. You're not really charging for what you want. And in my heart, I feel this compassion. I'm like, I get what that feels like. I have been there. And so I just continue going through their day to day, and I just have my heart just filled with love and compassion and firmness and saying, like, are you available to shift that? Because it's time. Like, I'm not just like this fluffy, loving, like, oh, come here, it's okay. I'm like, yes, come here, it's okay. And like, are you available for a different life? What do you want? And so the seduction is the energy that you feel, is really the energy of having them feel seen. Like, think about intimacy. Intimacy is created when you're seeing somebody, when somebody feels safe in your presence to be all of them, with their quirks, with their flaws, quote unquote, with all of their everything that they are. That's what creates intimacy. Imagine in your relationship, like when somebody is just like seeing you smelly or not smelly or cute or not cute, whatever it is. And there's just like this sense of, I accept you, I love you, I see you, I'm here for you. That is what creates that intimacy. And when you bring that to your copy, that's what creates the seduction. It's not really that I'm like, it is a little flirtatious in a way, but it's just the real thing that's going on the back, on like at the on the foundation of it is just that I'm seeing them And I'm seeing them for all of them, not just the scared part, not just the perfect part, not just the empowered part, but for all of them. And I write to all their parts. And that, when you do that with your clients, literally people will be like, I just can't choose anyone else but you because you see me. And so that's what the seduction and intimacy is all about.
Well, if I'm thinking about more how we classically think about seduction, it's so much presence and I have something that you want, or I have something of value. And like, then it's just this play of bringing them towards something that they want and something that they value. So it seems like that's also a key piece, is assurance that what you have is of value and is something that your dream client wants.
Right. And so, like, in relationships, there's this like layer of like full acceptance and being and like helping or having somebody feel fully seen in your presence. But also, there is this feminine energy where, as the woman, like when you think about the dynamic between the masculine and the feminine, the feminine gets to ask and receive.
Mm.
And then the masculine loves providing for the feminine. And so when you get into this energy of like asking, like, do you want to create this type of life? Do you want to create this type of change? Like, I know you do, and this is what's available for you. And then you paint a vision. You are creating this energetic like frequency in your copy where you're helping them feel seen. You're saying, would you like something that would you like to live a life that's different than what you're living right now? And then you paint the vision. It's very easy for somebody to feel like, oh, yes, I want to feel that way. That's the way that I want to walk the path. And it creates a desire for them to want to like cross the bridge, right? And so for sure, exactly what you said is so true, because it's like, I see you. Do you want something more? Like, I got it here. You get to trust me. You get to lean in. Like, I got you.
Well, and it seems like okay, so before copywriting even is within the picture, it's like, okay, I actually have to value what I have and also believe in my clients. And then the copywriting is that bridge, right?
100%. Like, as you know, inside of Magnetize and Monetize, what I do, I focus so much on valuing your work,
Mm.
because there's no way, and I have you guys do all sorts of exercises to like appreciate and respect your work and really build huge belief around it. Because if we can't attract our partner if we're not fully and believe that I deserve the best kind of love, right? We are going to attract a partner. It's not like we can attract a partner, period, but our soulmate partner, right? The kind of love that is forever, that's delicious, that we're like, yes, that kind of client is what I'm talking about. We can attract the type of client when we're like, I just don't know if I'm that. I don't know if I'm really a good coach. I don't know. Like, when you're doubting your ability, that's shifting the frequency for like, well, let me settle for something less. And this is why we attract less than best clients, because we're like, well, at least I'll settle for this. Right. And so we are always in control and command of what we want to think about our work. And I always choose to think that my work is life changing. And I look for the evidence. And the more that I look for the evidence and the more that I hold that belief as being the fact, the more that it becomes a fact and reality in my life. But if I was not in that camp, there's no way that I would be selling without sales calls. There's no way that I'd be just focusing on high-end clients. You'd be like, well, let me help all of the people because I just don't know if there's enough of people out there. And what I want to offer to everyone is clients who are premium, who are willing to pay you, are everywhere. It's just that you're not saying the words or embodying the frequency that is magnetizing them. It's not that they're not out there. It's just that the words are not quite landing with them yet. And that's great news, because you can totally shift that. It's just shift the words that you're saying. It's not like it's not meant for you, you just have a bad luck and you're not meant to be. No, you're meant to be. If you want it, if your heart desires it, you're meant to have it. Let's just shift the words and the frequency so that you attract your best people.
Okay, something popped in my head that's kind of off course, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask anyways. I have a few clients who really desire to create things for the masses. So to like create lower priced in comparison to like
Yeah.
larger, yeah. because they want to reach large amounts of people and have large amounts of people as customers. Do you have anything to say about that? I know that's a little different than your niche and your focus, but I'm just curious what you have to say about that.
No, yeah, and I love that question because when I say let's focus on premium, fewer clients, more premium clients, and when you guys hear me say like don't try to save everybody, what I'm not saying, you might be hearing, oh, don't help everybody or don't help the masses kind of thing. That's not what I'm actually saying. What I'm saying is, are you willing to think differently about clients who are empowered? Because even if you're going for the masses, you want to continue, you want to create higher frequency in your words and in yourself to be able to cast a wide net so that people feel so magnetized to who you are. I want everyone to think about one famous person who exudes a vibe of, I don't really believe in myself. I'm not really sure. Like, I can think of anyone, right? So
Yes.
even if you're going for the masses, especially if you're going for the masses, everything we talked about today gets to be even more, it's more important because you really like, there's going to be a wide variety of people, of thinking, of everything, and who you are, how the way that you show up is the way that's going to magnetize lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people. And so it's back to the words and back to the frequency. Are you willing to believe that you're the best coach for the masses? Are you willing to believe that there are the best people out there who are ready for your work? All the same principles apply, especially if you're going big. So I like to start high end simply because it just creates a really high cash flow in your business, and it just accelerates your results much faster than if you started with low end products. But I am like, I'm going to the masses and I'm just applying the same principles, right? Like the principles don't change. It's just the order in which you do it. I rather start high and from the beginning. And then when you go to the masses, apply the same principles because like you're just already so in momentum. Does that make sense?
Totally. And yeah, having more high-end products absolutely makes it so you have the money to increase your audience size, to be able to reach more
Exactly.
people. And I like what you touched on with pricing, because it seems like there is this, like, with intentional pricing, are you charging lower because you don't believe in yourself,
Right.
or you don't want to take the time to actually create something crazy amazing, or is it because you just want to you want to act, love that price point, you love like creating something at that price point? It's
Yeah.
what's actually behind it.
Right. And I think that the thing that I want to offer is like, I love I love low end products that are intentional and priced in like in alignment with what you actually want. Like I'm available for that. Like I'm creating one right now, right? Like it's gonna be, yeah,
Oh,
like it's gonna launch next year. It's gonna be so fun. And when I say low end, I mean more like the 2K price point, right? Um, but let's just remove the anything under 2K, I would say. When you think about your price, the question is this because I want to charge this much? And can you check in with your body? Does this feel delicious? If you're meant to fulfill for 10, 20 people, does this feel delicious in my body? Like, does this feel like it? I'm not saying charge what Juliana's charging or charge what my clients are charging or charge with whoever's charging. In fact, I believe in the opposite. Charge what you want, no matter what anyone says, no matter what your coach says, no matter what anyone says. Really check in with yourself. And I go by the decimal. I'm like, is it $10,000 that feels right? Or is it 10 and a half? Is it like 10 and 200? Like I literally go and test what feels right, what feels right, what feels right. And then I go with that. So if for any of you who are listening, you're like, right now, 497 feels like the most delicious thing for me to sell. Great. And make sure that you're going like that you're actually going with the thing that feels the stretchiest, right? Like your limit. Don't blow over that because you're going to be like like more deeper into doubt than in like certainty. And so go with the thing that feels right for you. I just have noticed with most of the clients that I work with that they're always want more. They're not charging it. So that's why we work on what do you actually want? And what most of my clients want is like, I actually want 10K, 20K, 6K, 50K, 100. Like that's what I want. I'm like, okay, let's go get it.
so
Right.
good. gosh. Thank you for indulging me with that.
Yeah, of
I
course.
know it's super useful. And we have a few more minutes left, so I want to touch on some closing questions that I thought would be fun to hear your side of. The first one is, what's the biggest challenge you're facing in your business right now, and how are you tackling it?
Ooh, I love that question. So, we have a multi-million dollar business. We just started running some retargeting ads and some lead gen ads for the Explode Your True Challenge, and that's like working really. It's actually working great. By the way, I want to say that the reason why those ads are working great is because our message is so clear now that I'm not wasting money on ads. And so I thought that was going to be a big challenge to go into it, and actually has been super easy. But the reason why I said that is because now we have more people in our team. And leadership for me has been definitely my biggest growth edge this year and this last half of the year, because now I get to not just be a coach and have lots of clients and have maybe a couple of team members, but I am a CEO. Like I actually have CEO roles and responsibilities. And that includes leading the vision of the company, leading the team, coaching the team, making sure that everything, like the COO is doing everything, that we have like our coach is doing everything. Like, you guys, it's a whole other world. It's a whole other world, the leadership role that you get to be in once you ascend from fully booked coach to like having a couple of team members. And in the biggest challenge and how the way that I'm tackling that is I actually hired one of my best friends who's really amazing at team care to really be able to support my team in anything that they needed and give them so much just love on them. Be like a mama bear. And we are elevating our systems. So I've always been really good at systems, but since we are moving, shifting, and growing so quickly, it's like, well, whatever we create 3 months ago, it's now going to change. So we are constantly upgrading our systems, our workflows, and that requires a lot of management. And so they're overseeing what that looks like. And I'm creating essentially process that I can teach my clients so that they don't have to go through all the stuff that I went through, like how to hire the right people, how to empower them to be amazing at their role, how to motivate them, like we do their human design, all of like with the spirit, all the astrology, like we just have the team is everything. Team is really at the end of the day the heartbeat of your business, like inside. And when you take care of your team, when you love on them, when you inspire them, like literally the world opens up and your workload opens up, like everything just opens up. And so leadership is so important, and that's been the whole other new part of my brain that I've had to turn on, because I was just like copy sales coaching, copy sales coaching, copy sales coaching, content creation. Now it's like that's like one little part of everything that the business requires of me. And so we really are cleaning that up. So that's definitely the biggest growth edge so far.
I'm so turned on by you bringing this up, because so many people, they hire people and it's from this perception of what can they do for me, or are they living up to what I
Oh.
need, and that's important. But I mean, such a CEO perspective of how can I give back to them? How can I make sure they're thriving? I'm just like, oh, so good.
It is. It's like my favorite thing now. And I'm always like checking in, how are you? And I have a whole team that checks in on them and has like they have their own care team, like I want my team to be taken care of. And they're contractors. Like they're not even, I have one full-time employee. Everyone else is a contractor, but I consider them my team. And so I just want to make sure that they're all feeling healthy and like mentally, emotionally, everything, right? That they have amazing bonuses, that they're paid like generously, just everything, right? Like I want to be the boss that I wanted to have. And so it's like, okay, well, let's go. And so it's a lot. It requires a lot of, whew, it's just a lot. So, but I'm
So
loving
good.
it. I'm loving it.
Love that. Okay, and then last question: what are 3 books you'd recommend to my audience, and why?
Okay, so the first one for sure, conversations with God. Oh my God. So, one of the things that we do in my higher end mastermind, which is called the Momentum Mastermind, is we really master the principles to work with your unseen team, with the team that really will help you carry your vision forward without you having to do the heavy lifting. And Conversations with God is a book that really helped me many years ago understand what God really is and understand my role with divinity in a very practical way. And I just got my power back. Like, I did not feel like I was like at the effect of what happens in the world. I didn't feel like I was alone. I always felt like I was alone in the world, and like God didn't really, I didn't really even believe in God. And God, Conversations with God is not a religious book, by the way. This is not about religious God. This is just about universe, like the energy of the universe. And just all of the questions that we could ever wanted, that we could have ever desired to ask God, they get asked to God, but through this guy who wrote the book, Neil Donald Walsh. And you guys, it would just shift your perspective on everything. I have read it maybe 7 times over and over again. I please order it. More than like, it's literally would change your life. There's 3 books. I recommend reading all of them, and it would just change your life. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one, it's the E-Myth, and that's more present for me now because of the like the point in my business where I'm at, and it's by Michael E. Gerber. And really, what it is about these systems. What we're talking about, like how do you go from being an operator to now being a CEO, and all of the messiness in it. Because I thought, oh shit, it's just me. And it's like, oh wait, there's like books written about it. And so it really helps you shift from the perspective of you're the operator of the business to really you are hiring and you're being the CEO. And it's just such a practical, easeful, like just easy way to understand it and to see where you're at and how to ascend from one gear to another in the business. It made me feel so much better about myself, and also gave me a lot of insights about leadership. And then the final one is U square. So like this.
Uh-huh.
And what it is the title of it, or the subtitle is a high velocity formula for multiplying your personal effectiveness in quantum leaps. And is written by Price Pritchett, who's a PhD in quantum physics, I'm pretty sure. And whoa, like we really get, I'm all about the spirituality and like ascension and quantum leaps and working less while creating more. And it really helps you connect to the power of you and your intention and how to create with the unseen world. And so it's a super light read, like super thin, it's super fast. Like literally you finish it in like maybe like 2 hours. Super powerful. It's before people like beefed up books with a lot of stuff that you don't need to read. It's just like the essence. And it's a light one. It's not super deep, but it's profound, short. So it's going to really elevate your energy and your ability to magnetize.
Oh, I haven't read any of those, so I'm gonna have to go order those.
Oh my God. They're amazing.
Well, thank you so much, Juliana. You were so generous with your time and your advice and all the things. And of course, like, please tell us where we can find you. And I obviously endorse her program. And as a seasoned copywriter and pretty far along in my business, it's been one of the best programs I've ever been in. And there are people in the program who are brand new to copywriting, and it absolutely helping the full spectrum. So yes, please tell us more about it and how people can join.
Of course. Okay. So I'll tell you you can find me on Instagram at It's Juliana Garcia, ITS Juliana Garcia. I also have an amazing Facebook group where I do the most like badass trainings. Like, you guys, people are like, is this for free? Really? So find my Facebook group and join, because literally I drop trainings every week and they're super dope. And Magnetize and Monetize, it truly is the best marketing mastermind that you will ever find. I have joined all of them. And the way that we do things is we address everything from the practical level to clarify your message so you can attract premium clients, but also we really touch on the emotional and the energetic level so that you can not just attract those clients, but actually hold and keep and sustain that success. And so the way to join is to go to the page, Juliana. We'll put the link in the comments, because I actually don't.
It'll be in the show notes, you guys.
Yeah, and that's just really for coaches who are amazing in what they do. They're already attracting clients, but they want to elevate the quality of clients that they attract. They want to attract more clients who are the best clients, and just really want to deepen their ability to just speak to the right people and magnetize the right type of person to you. So It's the best program ever. I'm kind of biased, but I'm not.
Oh, thank you so much, Juliana. I really appreciate it. And you guys all have a lovely week. I'll see you next week.